Hi everyone, welcome to my channel about cross stitch. My name is Elaina, the Whimsical Stitcher. Today is Tuesday of January 20th, 2025, and I'm just coming to you with an update on my stitching. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when I upload a video. I'm not very consistent in my dates, but my goal this year is to put out more videos and share my stitching with you more often than what I had been doing previously. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in time and time again. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's get into our update. So I did a whip parade, so hopefully you had a chance to check that out. But I've been working a lot on my stitching. Here's my calendar, and I've only have one day so far that I didn't get to stitch, but that's okay. And in my whip parade, I said I was going to work on all kinds of games and try and touch all my stitching, and so far so good. It's working out really well for me so far, so hopefully that's a good indication that I will be able to meet all my goals this year. So fingers crossed. So I will start with Whip Go. So this is my Whip Go board, and for January, numbers 2 and number 7 were called, and I am doing categories, full coverage, fancy ladies, Christmas, winter, Easter, spring, Halloween, fall, and then everything else falls into that category. And my goal is 1,000 stitches or 3 days on those projects, and I'm only going to count stitches on anything that goes into Pattern Keeper. If it doesn't go into Pattern Keeper, then I'm not going to count stitches. So then I'll do the 3 days instead. And these are all starts. Whip Go is all my starting projects. So I know I did a whip parade in my last video, and my goals or plans for 2026 were probably not that clear, because at that point I was already tired, like just doing the video, but I had worked all day, and then it was New Year's Eve and it was late, and yeah, it didn't come out very well. But anyways, the projects were there. So now my intentions of those plans will actually be in these videos, so you can kind of understand what I was trying to say in that last video. So Whip Go, new starts. So my first call was number 2, which was the category everything else. So I started the Rose Mandala by Glendon Place. And I am stitching it with all of the called for threads, which are dinky dyes and a little bit of anchor. And I'm trying a new system, so I'm going to see how this works out. I know a lot of people use floss away bags, and I haven't attempted to use floss away bags, but I thought, well, let me try Ziploc bags, the little Ziploc snack bags, and see if this works for me, to see if I would want to make the investment to floss away bags, or, you know, see how it works. You know, we all have different methods, and so I am trying this method. I have all the floss here. I don't know if you can really see it that well though, through all the plastic. Some beautiful greens, and these are the dinky dye silks, and then I also have the Sullivan threads. These Sullivan threads? Yes, the Sullivan threads that go with it. But I haven't put these in bags yet. So those are the threads. And of course the beads that go with it. So I am stitching this on 32 count. I'll show this here. So this is my start. So I'm very happy with how that is coming out. And I have the fabric name here somewhere. Well, I don't know what I did with it. Anyways, so I did a center start. And I'm also participating in Bringo. And so this was on my Bringo board as well. And so WhipGo is Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on Flosstube. And she calls 2 numbers a month. And then Bringo is through the magazine monthly cross stitch group on Facebook through Carolyn Zook. And I always forget the second person. So Bringo, they call a number every day. But for Bringo, we do, I think it's 30 minutes or 100 stitches. Unless the prompt calls for something different. So for this one, it met the WhipGo New Start. And also number 6 call on Bringo, which was Whip or New Start that has variegated floss. And this has variegated floss. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone on that one. So I met that prompt. So for my projects, I am double dipping in all of the games. If I can make it apply, I'm going to make it apply. So I can get the most out of my stitches for my games. So that was my first start for WhipGo. And let's see. I have my notes in front of me here. So this is why I keep messing around with my stuff. Okay, and then number 7 was the category Halloween or Fall. So I started Raccoon Rabble by Plum Street Samplers. And let's see, this one is on a 32 count Lugana Vanilla Latte by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I just got a teeny start. So this is my number 7 for WhipGo. And then I was also able to have it meet the criteria for Bringo, which is number 13. For Bringo, the prompt was Whip or New Start that is in the same season as your birthday. And my birthday is in October. So cute, huh? I did a center start on this one, and I am using the DMC thread on this particular piece. Oh, and Rose Mandala also met, did I say number 24? Oh, yeah, I made it work for number 24 prompt, my Rose Mandala, because it says Whip or New Start you would hang in the kitchen. So it's a little bit of a stretch here, but I don't have a lot of wall space in my kitchen that would allow for any of the things I stitch. However, it is a very open concept, so it's wall and living room, and I would hang the Rose Mandala in the living room, so you could see it from the kitchen. So it's a bit of a stretch, but I was gonna make it, I'm making it work for me. I don't post in the groups, you know, and try to win whatever prize or goal is there. I just do it for myself. So I stretched the rules on that one. So anyways, that was a start number 2. So that is WhipGo, and that is done. Okay. Next I have, oh, my travel piece. My travel piece is, this is kind of messed up because it sits in my travel bag. The Blue Flower Tudor Swan. So this piece actually goes in my travel bag, and it goes with me everywhere in my car. the bag actually stays in my car all the time. And this one is 32 count fabric by Stephanie, and this is Colonial Parchment. So I did get some stitches in on this one, so I was really kind of happy with it. I was able to rip out the crown. So this particular piece has what's called for is the NPS threads, and I'm using the DMC. And so the crown, the DMC color is this greenish color for this crown, and I didn't really care for that, so I substitute out with a different DMC color. So I like the color of the crown better now. So I ripped that out, and I actually got the full flower here, so I like the way it's coming out. And then, so for this one, it was also on my Bringo board for number 1, Whip or New Start. That's a travel piece. Also number 3, Whip or New Start that has flowers. Flower. And then number 10, Whip or New Start, or that reminds me of your favorite book. So one of my favorite books is Rise of the Defender by Catherine Levique. And if you are into medieval romance, and this is a very long book, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 800 pages. It's a medieval romance, and I love the book. I loved it. So Tudor Swan, medieval, and so that's what reminds me of that book. So if you want a medieval war love story and you like a longer book, I'm pretty sure it's the 800 page version. I should have brought the book here so I could show it to you. I have it on, this is how much I love it. I have it on Kindle version, audio version, and physical signed autograph copy in my bookcase. That's how much I love that book. And then Tudor Swan also goes for Call for Bringo number 17, Whip or New Start with a border. And that one has a border. So yeah, so that's that one. And then my next one for Bringo is Dancer, which is this piece. You've probably seen it several places. It is in an individual chart you can purchase, or also this is in the Punch Needle Primitive magazine, and this is where it comes from for me, is the Punch Needle and Primitive Needlework magazine. I have it here. So I printed out a copy of that one, and that counts for my Whip Go number 8, New Whip or New Start from a magazine. And then number 16, Whip or New Start that you were inspired to start by someone else, and tell us who inspired you. So I had seen this repeatedly on Sunshine Stitchers. Sheila was stitching it on Sunshine Stitchers, and I watched that Flosstube repeat. That's one of my preferred ones. And then also on Sit Stay Stitch with Dina, and they are both stitching this, or not sure if they finished it though, I don't remember. So this is mine, and I've gotten so much progress on this, and just over this past weekend, this holiday weekend. At first I just had this little piece and the 2 eyes, so I didn't have very much, but I was able to stitch all this here and the ears, and now you can actually tell it looks like a deer. So I was really happy with that. And then number 20, New Start, New to You Designer, which is Barbara Anna. This is my first Barbara Anna piece. And this is on a 32 count Snow on Magical Clouds by Fabric Flare. And I think it's coming out so cute. And I am stitching it with the DMC floss, but I am changing the colors. So where you see the oranges or the dark burnt orange colors with browns. I'm going to change those to pinks. And so that is Dancer. And I love the fabric. I love the gloss. I love the pattern. It's coming out. It's an easy stitch, so it's going really quick. Okay, so the next one is my Jack and Sally piece, which Jack and Sally covered a couple of things. For Bringo, it is covering number 14, which is a Whip or New Start that was gifted to you or that will be gifted to somebody else. And, oh, I didn't bring the cover page of what it's going to look like. I'll have to insert a picture of the cover page it's going to look like. And then this is how far I've gotten. So I am probably going to give this to someone. And I'm not sure who yet. Or I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Just in case they watch my video. Okay. So here is my progress. So if you watch my whip parade, I literally only had just a little bit in here done. And so now I've kind of went, it's almost the full width. So this actually, I was able to have this for I put in 1,002 stitches, and I was able to have it meet one of the bingo prompts for Full Coverage Fanatics, and have only gotten one bingo prompt done on Full Coverage Fanatics so far. So I'm not doing very well on that yet. But the rest of the month, that's what I'm working on, full coverage. My Bringo, it was my number 14 on Bringo. So with all of those calls, I was able to get a bingo, just one, right down the middle on Bringo. So far, just one. But I will insert a picture of that so you know what it's going to look like at the end. And this is on Eros by Under the Sea Fabrics, Opalescent. And this is 18 count Ada. And I love the fabric. I love the blues and it's kind of like a lavender with mixed blues and some light pinks. So I got 1,000 stitches in there. So, and then that also, so I triple dipped on this one. I had it count for my Bringo, count for my full coverage, but also that was pull number 1 for Milestone Manor. So Milestone Manor is by Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on Flosstube. And her Milestone Manor game, I simplified mine down to just basically the floor plan, and then I started here in the front porch, and my first call was Jack and Sally, and mine is 1,000 stitches per room, so I got my first 1,000 stitches. So that was the call for that one, for that room, the front porch, and it was my Jack and Sally piece. So I got that one done. And then, so then as you move through the hall, as you walk in, now you're in the foyer, and my foyer piece call was, it was Haunted Chateau. So I will show you the Haunted Chateau next. So Jack and Sally met Milestone Manor, met Full Coverage Fanatics, Center Square, and 1 square in my Bringo. So triple dipped on that one. So that was really good. I was happy with that. Oops. So then foyer was Haunted Chateau, which is by Twin Peak Primitives. And this is just the black and white picture. I probably should printed out the color picture, and I have the color picture, but I have a whole binder of all my whips with pictures, and I didn't bring that today, so sorry. So anyways, this one is on So when you saw it last in the whip parade, I just had this area here done and just a little bit of bead border. And I added more to the border on this side and then everything in there, the black and the browns. And I want to say I got in a little bit more than 1,000 stitches on this. I think it was 1,007. And let me see if I know what... And I don't have my, oh, here it is. Colonial Parchment Fabrics by Stephanie, 32 count. And I love the fabric. Look at how beautiful that is. So yeah, so I got 1,000, I think it was 1,007 stitches. Let me see, I wrote it down here, because I'm checking them off as I move through. It was, so Jack and Sally was 1,002 stitches. Haunted Chateau, 1,061 stitches, so a little bit more. So that is that one. So as I move through Milestone Manor, through my castle, Jack and Sally, Haunted Chateau, and now I'm going through the hallway. So I had previously said in one of my other videos, but this is my game plan, is anything that's can be considered maybe a hallway that I have to go kind of walk down, which would be like this area, maybe this area in here. I'm gonna reserve that for my focus project of Maleficent. So I get to pick up Maleficent more than just once or twice a year. I want to pick it up, you know, every month. So the more I can add to it, it'll be my gridiron grind piece when that starts in August. If I can put it in this, I put it in Bringo. So I'm going to try and put that in wherever I can. Full coverage bingo as well. I'll put that in. So I'm currently working on Maleficent now. So I didn't bring it to show it to you. But then as soon as I'm finished with this, I can literally go 3 ways. I can go into the living room, the home office, or the family room. So I don't know what card to pull next out of my bag of cards. So in here is all my envelopes of projects. So maybe you can help me if you want to comment below, which way should I go? Should I go into the living room? So as soon as I'm done with Maleficent, should I go into the living room? Because that's open to go into the home office. Or should I go into the family room? Because I'll have Maleficent done here probably this in the next day or so. So then that would free me to go here, here, or here. So let me know what you think. Living room, home office, or family. And then I will pull that card out of my bag and figure out what project I need to do next. 1, 2, or 3. So help me out with that if you would like to. And so let's see. So that is that game. And then I briefly showed you my full coverage bingo game. So I only got one, which was Jack and Sally. And then as soon as I have Maleficent in, I have put Maleficent in several different areas, but I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to go. If I'm going to go for a diagonal, across, or up and down. So Jack and Sally qualified design starting with a J, A, or N. And it's called Jack and Sally. J. There you go. So I can probably go either to the right here and fill in Maleficent as soon as I'm done. But I was thinking I could also go diagonal, and I have it here for someone you'd want to call. And if you're ever in trouble, you'd want to call Maleficent to come take care of it. She's kind of evil. And then, or Maleficent in books, because that was the original story, was a book. So, I don't know. Or was it a cartoon? Well, it's a book. I remember the book when I was little. Anyways, okay. So, got to work on some full coverage pieces in the next 2 weeks so I can meet some of those bingos, get some bingos on my full coverage. And then depending on where, what envelope I go for the Milestone Manor will determine what I'm going to stitch next for that prompt. And yeah, I'll keep stitching on Bingo as well. But I've already got one bingo, so maybe I can get a couple more. Today is the 20th, so they'll call numbers through the 25th. So I have 5 more days to get maybe a couple more bingos, but so far I got the one. So we're good. So that's it. That's all I have to share today. And happy stitching, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. And leave me a comment below if you want to, if I should go into one of those 3 rooms for my next piece. Thanks. Have a good evening. Happy stitching. Bye.